What is up, everybody, and welcome back to The Intern. Today's video is who is a good stash for next season. Today's going to be talking about basically we're going to look at some players from the past offseason, past couple of seasons. Most of them, half of them are rookies. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it 100, and I think that's the reason why is because you're gonna want to get these players with very high potential, and we've seen nothing on them. We've seen none. They haven't played a single NBA minute, but a lot of them kind of haven't played that much, but they're in situations that you might like or not like. That's kind of what a stash is. Somebody that you're going to keep on your bench that maybe in a year it's going to turn out to be something really good. Maybe it's just needing one thing to go right and then you're good. Maybe it's something that it's a hit or miss. It is a hit or miss, but the fact is that there's a reason why you're stashing them rather than not, because if it hits, it's going to help you a ton. If it doesn't, you didn't really lose anything off of it. It's just something that's going to be there. But let's just get started with, make sure to go join the community over at Fantasy Sports Advice Network. You can go check out the website. Go in the link in the description if you want to go and get pro. If you go pro, you can go, and not go pro as in watching and looking at a webcam. You can get my rankings for Dynasty basketball, for points, my redraft leagues, whatever it might be. You can go over there and do it. You can also look at some, what is it called? Just stuff over there with football, with baseball, with basketball. There's community over there. We talk a little bit on basketball. You can join my community as well, where I'll be letting videos come out. You can watch the videos here, of course, like you're probably doing. Or if you're actually on the website already, then you're already watching it on the website. So whatever it might be, you can do. And yeah, let's just get started with the first one being Dariq Whitehead. I went with someone that is not a rookie, but is technically I consider somewhat rookie-ish, where he only played 2 games because of injury. Dariq Whitehead is somebody that I know has a lot of potential. He was a top recruit coming out of high school, somebody that a lot of teams wanted going to Duke, had an injury that kind of held him back, tried to get his things in the mix, a little inefficient, dropped his stock a little bit, went 20-something to the Brooklyn Nets. Here's the thing, though. I do want to mention this. The thing with Dariq Whitehead and why I am still good with him is, one, he's on the Brooklyn Nets, which, push come to shove, not really that good of a team right now. Looking like could be the worst team next year. But that's a good thing for them. That's what they want to do. Also, looking like there's going to be some opportunities with that being involved. I also want to say, with him being injured and a big concern about his potential injury history, when Duke had him and had his injury, the Nets were the one that helped and got him through the surgery. He was helping with the Duke and with kind of the Nets organization. So I do feel pretty good with the Nets, picking him and going through everything and knowing that what has been wrong with him, what's been going on, and they feel comfortable with drafting him in the first round in a pretty good draft class. So I want to say that I truly believe Dariq Whitehead, they have a plan with him. And that plan could be, being a backup. That plan could be, getting some starter minutes in the future. He's a tall guard, kind of tall shooting guard, small forward, plays like a taller Bradley Beal with maybe some defensive stealing skills in there. So I think with that being said, why would you not stash someone that has a good opportunity and that could produce at a high level? Up next, we have Moses Moody, someone that I've seen on waivers, I've seen dropped, I've seen picked up, I've seen people hold on, people let go, whatever it might be. Moses Moody is still somebody that I'm taking all the stock I can in Moses Moody. When you look at Moses Moody, you really see that there's only a limited kind of play to his game, which is shooting. Not really much else. He's kind of shown that already for the Warriors, that there's not really that much else. But the thing is that why would you not go after someone that has been stated that they want to keep on the young team because that is a young player for them to move forward with and they feel good with him being there? And two, if they would trade Moses Moody, he would get a new opportunity and not be backing up any new stars like a Steph Curry or anybody. It would be a deal revolving a star that's probably older going to the Golden State Warriors, and then Moses Moody would get a little bit of an opportunity. You can't tell me that doesn't sound good both ways. So I believe in a Moses Moody situation for a points league. I don't know about 9K as much. Points leagues, I would take Moses Moody in Dynasty. I think it makes sense to hold on to players like this and players that make a lot of sense moving forward and trying to become something later on in the future. Up next, we have Deron Holmes II. Now, I would be lying if I said this one hurts a little bit, knowing that he's out for the whole season next season, especially when I even have him in a draft or two. But Deron Holmes was somebody that I was very high on entering the draft. I think a lot of people thought there was a big opportunity and big chance he goes 12 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Maybe they trade up and get him. A lot of people from the NBA Twitter accounts and NBA in general thought Deron Holmes fit perfectly with what the Thunder needed. Didn't happen, but Deron Holmes finds himself in a good situation, in my opinion, with the Nuggets. You might say, Chadwell, Deron Holmes with the Nuggets, how is this good? They have Jokic. The fact of the matter is that I almost said New York Nuggets. Oh my God. I almost said New York Knicks as well. The Nuggets have been having this situation where they've kind of rotated in and out some backup centers, some backup forwards, and trying to find someone that fits with a Nikola Jokic. Deron Holmes' skill set is definitely somebody that can shoot the three ball, defend the ball, do a little bit of everything, Swiss Army knife. Doesn't that kind of remind you of some of the players they've let go, like a Bruce Brown? That was more of a shooting guard, Swiss Army knife, kind of like a KCP's defensive, let go in free agency. And looks like they have some backup center play that they could kind of work with. Deron Holmes could work with being a backup center for the Nuggets at full time. There's a reason why the Nuggets wanted to get this guy, and I think it was definitely because he works well playing with a Jokic and at the same time playing as a backup center. This is somebody that I believe will get you minutes in leagues. Now, is he going to be some crazy all-star? I don't think that, but I think this is still someone that's going to be pretty decent in the future. Up next, we have Kobe Buffkin. The Atlanta Hawks knew when they selected Kobe Buffkin at 15, because Keontae George was 16, 14 was the Pelicans, 15 is the Hawks. It was 15. Kobe Buffkin, when they selected him, they knew what they were doing. They knew that he would be someone that maybe doesn't start right away, maybe doesn't do this. He would be someone that just takes a little bit of time, or if something would happen, it would be somebody good. They also knew that when they were at 15 and the players they wanted maybe ahead or thought they could get, whatever it might be, were chosen, that they knew Kobe Buffkin was going to have to be somebody that they were going to pick because the talent was too good. And I think a lot of people realized when Kobe Buffkin went at 15, they graded that draft so good because Kobe Buffkin, the talent was so good. To me, I'm a huge Kobe Buffkin guy. I think when you look at his play, he fits well. And let's just say this is 2023 when he got drafted. So before DeJounte Murray got traded. He worked so well with both of the guards that if they decided to go one way with only one of the guards, he had the defensive skills to work with a Trae Young. He had the offensive skills to work with a DeJounte Murray. He had the size to work with a Trae Young. He had everything that I think you would want. And he's kind of shown that in the G League where he's averaging these crazy amount of points. He's destroying people, getting crazy steals as well. And for the Atlanta Hawks now choosing to go with Trae Young, and a lot of people think that Trae Young could be on the move, I think having a Kobe Buffkin there that could work very well with a Dyson Daniels and could work very well for the future, I feel really good with having Kobe Buffkin on my team, truthfully. I think when you look at the Atlanta Hawks right now, it looks like the downhill is coming. It's just a matter of time before they trade and try and get a 3-team trade to get their picks. I think that's where we're kind of looming at right now. And then I believe that Kobe Buffkin is going to be a starter or somebody that they just keep growing and could be a great six-man in the future. Up next, we have Jacoby Walter, rookie here. Jacoby Walter, for me, is an interesting case because I think, again, somebody that was very high in the boards, someone that was good recruit, someone going to Baylor, looked like he would take the reins, looked insane these first games, looked like he was going to be a top 5 pick for sure. Injury, inefficiencies hit, 2024 being this weird draft class, fell all the way to the Raptors. I think when Jacoby Walter fell to the Raptors, it kind of elevated him a little bit. I think when you look at the Raptors, a rebuilding team that needs talent, that needs to find people around to build with a Scotty Barnes, Gray Dick works well for Scottie Barnes because he's a shooter he can pass to. Jacoby Walter is going to be well. I think with Gary Trent Jr. leaving, Jacoby Walter kind of enters that area now and is going to take kind of not maybe a starting role, but definitely a backup role where he's going to grow into somebody that can pass. I don't know if he's going to be an amazing passer in the future, but can learn for it. Not going to be a great rebounder, but we're talking points here. We're talking points here, and that's what he can do. He can score. He knows how to score. He knows his moves. He can do all of that, and I think he has the skill set and the build and the frame to be a defensive guy in the future at 6'5", I believe. So I could see a little bit again. This is kind of crazy to say, but both of my draft comps for Dariq Whitehead and Jacoby Walter was Bradley Beal, and it's kind of funny seeing that they're both in this video, and they're both somebody I talked to about being like Bradley Beal. And is Bradley Beal like one of the most influential players of all time? I don't know. Jacoby Walter, though, a good stash in my opinion, and I think he is pretty decent when you're looking at him for the future. Up next is Zaire Williams, getting traded to the I said New York Nets. I did that last video almost too. Oh my gosh. To the Brooklyn Nets. Zaire Williams looks like he could be a player that hits well for the Nets. I think when you look at his raw potential he's had for a long time in his career, it just hasn't gotten there. It just never has hit. And with him getting a whole new start in a whole new place with a team that's ready to build talent, Zaire Williams is somebody that I think I willingly would take a shot for the first 10 games of the league and then see how you go from there. I think when you're looking at maybe later on in the year as well, this is somebody that's going to be working out well. Right now, I didn't check the depth chart recently, but I know when you really look at Cameron Johnson, Bojan, and Dorian Finney-Smith, they might not look that well when you look at the forward kind of playing field for this team, but you got to think Cameron Johnson is probably going to be a tradable piece in the future. You got to look at Dorian Finney-Smith, looked like he could potentially be traded. You got to look at Bojan, somebody that could be just there to finish out his contract. When you're looking at that, Zaire Williams is going to get a role at some point. He's a young guy that needs talent with a team that needs talent and has great potential. Up next, and my last one, if I'm not mistaken, Ousmane Dieng is kind of an interesting one to talk about. The Oklahoma State Thunder does look a little crowded, I do have to admit, but Ousmane Dieng has showcased so much skills in this league that I have to say that it would be hard not to keep him still as a stash, someone that has guard skills for his forward size, has somebody that can really score, pass the ball, shoot the ball, whatever, has shown some inefficiencies, can also play very defensive with his tall frame. Ousmane Dieng is somebody that makes a lot of sense for a team like the Thunder to have when they're trying to develop kind of forwards and keep growing their forwards. But if a trade does come looming for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Ousmane Dieng is probably one of their most valuable pieces when it comes to not bringing up somebody in there. Big three, big four if you count Harkenstein in there, big five if you count Caruso. I think when you look at the Thunder, the most tradable pieces are probably, and I think a lot of people would agree, Cason Wallace, Ousmane Dieng, Lou Dort, something like that. I think Cason Wallace is only there because a lot of people love him, but they want a Cason Wallace to stay in OKC. I think at the same time, their picks is there. Ousmane Dieng is that prospect piece that I feel like a team is willing to take on when you look at somebody that is 6'11" with guard skills and can defend the ball. You look at somebody that, okay, this is a piece that I want to keep trying to build. Granted, if it hasn't developed already, does that kind of show a little bit bad? But there has been, not a lot of development room for Ousmane Dieng. That's why he's done so good for the Oklahoma City Blue. But I do want to say that Ousmane Dieng is still someone that I am still willing to take a little risk on because I think of that upside he can hold. And with a Thunder team that's ready to win, they're ready to make those moves to really keep continuing. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.